Hello, today we're going to be talking about the spectrogram say bite again. So first we can look at this aperiodic waveform, and that is indicative of a fricative. Fricatives are produced when the airflow is against the teeth, and so when air hits an obstacle and when there's a smaller cavity in the front, you get this high frequency turbulence. We also see a lot of anti-resonance here, and that's because the back cavity and fricatives are closed, as well as a broad bandwidth, which is all this like negative space, which is like not dark shade, because it's telling of a more muffled and unintelligible sound. We get quite the opposite when we look at the vowel A. So here we have very clear F1 and F2 formants. F1 is moving downwards because while the diphthong is being created, the tongue height is increasing, and the F2 is going up because the tongue is moving forward during the word say. As we move on to the word bite, we notice this little tail here. We know that b is a voice stop because the VOT is negative, which means that the voicing begins before the stop release. We also can tell when the release occurs because there's this very dark burst here, very clear where the waveform starts to have more energy going on. And we have this big stopgap because the acoustic energy is trapped in the oral tube. Then we have another diphthong, I, in the word bite. It's very similar to the vowel in A because the F1 is going down, meaning that the tongue height is increasing, and the F2 is moving upwards, meaning the tongue is moving forward. So here the tongue is moving forward in order to hit the alveolar ridge to create the sound T. So T is a voiceless stop, and we know that because it has this positive VOT. You see this spike here and this increase of energy here. It has a positive VOT, which means the turbulence is occurring after the release, and you also see this aspiration, and that happens when the turbulent airflow is in the glottis. Then we have the word again. So the vowel is a mid-central vowel, which means that the tongue is exactly like in the middle of the mouth. It's not too forward, not too back, not too high, not too low. So we get these very clear, equal F1 and F2. And then we get this g sound, which is a voiced velar stop. We know it's voiced just like the b, because it has this negative VOT right there. And then we have the vowel sound e from again, and that has an F1 that is pretty straight. It's not really going up or down, but the F2 is looking like it's going downwards, which is because the tongue is moving back. And I'm guessing that the tongue is moving back because it's creating the nasal n. So nasals are produced when you lower the velum to allow air to escape, and then that airflow is redirected through the nose. We get this really low F1 frequency because of this nasal murmur and a lot of damping in the spectrogram, and that's because more energy is being absorbed since nasals are produced with an open velopharyngeal as well as it being connected to two tubes, the pharyngeal oral and the nasal cavity. Let's see. Oh wow, I have more time. Okay, so N is also a stop sound. We can tell because it has a negative VOT. It's real small, but it's like right there, I think. And these little wave bits is aperiodic noise. Yeah.